Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is September 18th, 2025. I am on. What's going on, y'all? So today is going to be the third day of me complaining about this game as I get pieced up. I'm hoping the Nephew joins me. I don't know if he updated his. I don't know if he updated his client. But if he didn't, well, I gotta put in some time because whenever he is ready, I gotta be ready because I am butt at this game. We'll start there. We'll just start with the G rating. I'm gonna try to get back into this. Let's go. Like ain't no time like the present. Hope everybody's been cool out there. Hope today everybody had a great day. If not, just you guys got up. You guys fought through it. So that's a victory right there. Anytime you got to get up and you fight through what you just don't want to do for the day, that's victorious right there. So always take whatever small accomplishments that you get during rough times, because sometimes in life those are the only accomplishments you get, are just living for the next day. That's life, man. That's just life. I know sometimes we wish we had it better job, nicer workplace, more money, but what can you do about stuff like that? Money is a very, very fickle thing. It's weird because we'd like to say, as people who have struggled, I believe we like to say that if we had money, we would like be doing all this good stuff with it. We whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, we be making Earth a better place because we know what it's like to not have money. But say we did have money. Say we grew up with actual money. We kept that money our whole lives. You don't know that struggle. I don't care how much anybody wants to say, oh yeah, I understand, because nah, you don't understand that struggle sometimes. So not knowing like where the next meal might come from, or just be grateful that you had a meal, even if it was just like some rice with some bean broth. But yeah, those are the struggles in life, and that's what makes you you. If you didn't go through those struggles, you wouldn't be you. If you had the money, you had the easier life, you had the nicer job, you wouldn't be wanting to make this place a better place.
Check your gear and weapons.
That's really the best.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
But yeah, if you don't go through those struggles, if you
green light. We're deployed to the war zone.
you don't experience those things, you not who you are. Like, it just doesn't work that way. It just don't work that way. So as long as you fire up every day, breathe and eat and enjoy the good things in life that you could afford at this moment, hey, that's an accomplishment. That day was hard for you, was it not? And you lived through it. You went through it. You passed through it.
Stay alive.
Just take every accomplishment you can get. I swear, one of these days, they'll come to you. They'll come to you. You can't stop, bro. You can't stop. You can't just be like, all right, I'm done trying. Oh! Oh. Hey, that was, I'm gonna lie, that was kind of a smart play on my thing, but I don't have that. But yeah, y'all just, stay positive. I know it's difficult. It's hard. Believe me, even for me right now, just saying it, it's like, man, shut up. You ain't got no job. Oh, dang. Oh. Snaps. I'm dead. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a job. You know what? I am under a bit about what the next 6 months might become. But since I don't have a job, we've been able to get a lot of stuff done that need to get stuff done.
I'm back
Get
up.
ready. You're redeploying.
Um, and just as a whole, I've had time to do this. Like I've had time to like scream with my nephew because all the things that the job was taking up in terms of like things that needed to get done that didn't get done because well we were working. Um,
Loading.
oh my gosh. You know what? I'll take that because I hit him with the pistol. That's target practice. It's all good. Um, but just being able to like be here with my nephew, like the 2 times we've been able to get in, even though like not everything has worked out. You know, we've been trying to get into this game for the last 3 days, and one time we kind of just oh, one time we kind of just like just didn't click up on times. You know, like he had been waiting for me, and
Enemy
you know
dropping
he's a
into
kid.
the
You know,
AR.
like he gets into the zone with a certain game, and you know I didn't hit him up either, so I'm not saying it's all his fault. You know what I'm saying? But you know, like even though I've been here getting owned up because he kind of left me hanging. Now I'm just playing with you, Andy boy. I'm just playing with you, man. Like I'm getting pieced up. I'm still back though, and I know it's stupid to make that assumption, but I'm getting pieced up. Like to say that I'm having fun with this game, like not really. But my nephew wants to play it, so like when he wants to play it, I'm just trying to make sure. Oh snap! Did I get him? Oh, I got him! That's like my first real kill. Let's go! Oh snaps! All right, cool. All right, I mean that's genuine hype right there. Don't judge me. That's genuine hype. I was being ass at
Enemies
this
are dropping
game.
into the
It
area.
was kind of hurting me a little bit. I ain't going front. Oh, let's go though. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right, that's genuine hype though. That is genuine hype. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, man, I didn't even realize I didn't have no shields on me though. All right. Man, what was I saying though? Like I know it's like a stupid thing, like but I mean, look, I'm a very simple person. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you just saw there was genuine hype. Like, oh, what's genuine hype? Like, those are the small victories. I've been butt at this game for
Enemy movement in the AO.
3 days. Well, I mean, going on 3 sessions. I think this is the 3rd one, maybe the 4th one. And I was doing terribly. Like,
Returning you to the front.
I even told my nephew, like, I don't know, my boy. I'll play if you want to play, but I'm not. Oh snap! Oh,
The enemy took that one, but we'll get them back.
like I don't know. You think it's gonna be easier? And he tells me, don't trust me. I'm sweet. All right, cool. All right, cool. Sweetness, baby. You know. So if he's saying that he wants to roll with his uncle, then that's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to roll with him. I'm gonna be his uncle he can roll with. But that was genuine hype. Getting like the kill from distance, yeah, target practice, but I got one. But like having those actual kills is like okay, you start to feel uplifted a little bit. Like maybe you can be the person that somebody claims that is cheating in the game. Because I remember what that was like. I used to be good at games, especially Call of Duty. Me and the homie back in the Activision dungeon, we used to run. No, we didn't run the servers like say that we actually like ran them, but when we got in there, you know what I'm saying? Like we ran them. Man, I would finish 45 and like 5 or 45 and 8 sometimes if I was having a bad one. I finished on like 40 and 2 one time, and I was feeling good about that 40 and 2. Man, the homie Julio went like 58-1 with like the assist. Like he had like double digit assists. I was like, man, but nah. I mean, he got banned one time from a server because he was just too good. And then I was like, hey, what's up? That's my homeboy. Oh, you run with him too? Yeah, you use aimbot too. That was the best thing ever. That was the best thing ever. Like that was honestly, like the best feeling I think like my young gaming like history, like that was the best thing ever to just be good enough at a game where you get banned from a server because you think you're cheating. It's like, man, cool. I mean, we couldn't cheat even if we wanted to. We couldn't cheat because we were doing it on Activision infrastructured hardware. Like we were actually on the MPL lab in the third floor, like running it because
We're headed to the
basically
war
the
zone.
MPL lab, like
Get
that's
geared
where
up and
you
stand by.
would test the distribution of our games. Like some of the games that they had distribution like that were online only, like with free Steam or like Steam not being as popular as it was. Um, oh, this is practice. I'm over here sweating it. um, like so, like when Steam wasn't as worldwide, like there was like smaller distribution hubs
Enemy
that
soldier
we would
incoming.
sell our, well, not our. I'm not from them, um, but that Activision would sell their games through, and the MPL was in charge of
Prep
like
time's over. Now
making
you
sure that
deploy
the
to the war
connections from
zone.
the servers in Santa Monica would run well, like with the servers in Russia, and they did that with a little switch, like it would connect. I'm not sure like what the limitations were setting there hardware wise or software wise, but we would have different connections to like different parts of the world through these little like Ethernet ports that would connect to the internet in a different way, and you could test like if the distribution was cool in all the like Eastern European countries with their distributing stuff like that. So we had to play Activision games in that area. Call of Duty had just come out. We had just finished testing it, so we're like, all right, cool, let's go cook. Well, we didn't say cook. That wasn't the word back then, but like, hey, let's go run it. We ran it. So I mean, that was always like a cool memory, and that's why I love my profession, and I was able to do like that was my job. You know what I mean? Like I had to I did that for a job. Like it's crazy to me that I could say
Hostile
like, yeah, at
UAV
one
in
point
the
I did
area.
actually play a game, for a living, and like, man, that's a dream. Like I'm not tripping on that dream. I'm not tripping that I actually was able to live my dream because, man, it was great. But man, when you see the sausage being made, kind of lose the taste for that sausage. Oh, no matter how
Enemy
good a
UAV
sausage
is
is, it's like,
online.
yeah. And I just kind of want to forget what the sausage tastes like, to be honest. I know that sounds gross, but I just I just can't. Like I can't do it anymore. Like at that level, like it takes a lot out of you to be in QA for 20 years and get paid nothing. Like and I don't want to say nothing like it's like slave labor. Like again, like I enjoyed what I did. That I got to learn. Oh, sorry. Oh my. Anyways, like I'm not mad because like again I was like you can look me up like what I'm saying.
Time for vengeance.
Um,
You're redeploying.
what's his face? I got to test the original Modern Warfare. Got to test. I was the lead on what's his face on World at War. I was a PS3 test lead for that one, and I did a lot of good things. Me and my team did a lot of good things during that time. Like that was the apex. Like that was like the apex of stuff right there. Like that was the best experience I ever had. Like that was my favorite project. I gained 100+ pounds on that project, man. Like that that project probably added more years to my heart
Gas
than
is
any
moving.
other project I've been a part of. You know what I'm saying? Like I know I said like my last employer, Nat Games, was like the worst, and they put that the age on my soul. You know what I mean? Like that's the difference. They put it in my soul. On the physical body, I'm cool, man. But to put that in somebody's soul, like that's diabolical. Um, but like I gave that company a lot, and to be honest, that my
Enemies dropping
managers,
into the
like
AO.
both of them, Papa Bear, and we'll just call him Igor. uh, like They were a big like just like mentors in my life. Like I'm gonna get all teary guy playing Call of Duty. Um, damn. But they were like big, like just mentors in my life. Like I always wanted to be a manager like you were, cause
You've got a loadout
that dude
drop
out of
inbound.
anybody in this industry, that dude paid me so much respect, and he probably doesn't even really know it. I didn't know that was an auto. He probably didn't even know it, but yeah, that dude was a real. That dude was a real one. Damn.
I'm back online. On station.
I'm getting all
Go
teary
get
eyed.
after it.
Damn, I gotta stop running. Hold up, I'll catch my breath. Let me get angry first. Stay dry out some of these tears. Woo.
Enemies are dropping into the
Oh.
area.
Oh, what's? I'll take that assist. Oh, damn. Oh. Oh.
Valiant effort. Keep your head up and return to base.
Hold up. What's going on? All right, cool. I got like 4 minutes. But nah, that dude was like a real one. Like for real, that dude was like a real one. And then like the dude who took me under his wing, like Mr. Papa Bear. I love you, Papa Bear. That dude was, yeah, that dude was cool. He was cool. He was cool as hell too. We'll take it up to the PG rating. Like both them dudes, like the I don't even know what to call it, but damn, I'm being a punk right now. Damn. This was not the plan. Damn, nephew, where are you? Man, somebody, hey, hey, Nene, download Warzone. Help me get me out of this. Oh man, I'm being a straight up punk right now. But yeah, like just the confidence that I built in this industry was based on the respect both them dudes show me. Like I don't even know they know that for sure, but what better time, right? It's like the present. No better time than the present. It's just, you know, they still out there just randomly. Like I'm not gonna tag them in this or anything, you know. if it comes into their purview, then it comes into their purview. But I just want the world to know, like, damn dudes, or the 8 viewers that I get. But it's on the internet forever. That them dudes, yeah, they were real ones. They were real ones. And you know, like, and none of this is even possible without my first boss. Like, we just gonna do the appreciation right here, because I do like to keep it positive. Dave Diaz, like you know, sorry I called you out fully. The nicest guy you've ever met, I believe, was his tag. I still kind of remember everything but the end. It's either the nicest guy you'll ever know or the nicest guy you ever met. It's one of those two variants. Like when I got into like QA, you know, like I think it's like everybody's like pipe dream that they're gonna like really change the industry or be able to produce something that, you know, like they're gonna go in there from day one and be able to do that was me. You know, like I had been wanting to get into QA for like 5 years at that point. So when I turned 18, like that was always the goal, believe it or not. Like that was always the goal, was to get into the video game industry not even for the pay. I just wanted to go to E3, and I got to go to a few of them, which was cool. Um, but like that was always the inspiration. So like from 18 to like 20, I tried to do that, and then in the meantime, I tried to be an actor. I got one commercial for Newegg, like an actual commercial that was national. Um, you know what I'm saying? And that's somewhere like 10 years ago in my channel. That like that's a legit commercial. I'm in the second 30. I'm in the second half of the 1 minute commercial. Got my own little segment. Um, but like Dave Diaz, like just kind of gave me a job just because I liked video games. The interview was like literally 3 questions. How has your day been, and how are you? Which is really nice, which is really nice. What's your favorite game, and have you ever found a bug in that game? And I told him my favorite game was Final Fantasy VII, and we kind of, he asked why, and I just told him like what it meant to me from a technological standpoint, like just like the next
Check
first like
weapons and
actual
gear. We're
step in
holding the
storytelling. And then we had probably like a 10-minute discussion about that, and apologies, I was young, I was a punk. I don't really remember what you told me your favorite game was, because I'm pretty sure like we talked about it. I just don't remember. I'm just being honest. I'm sorry to be like that punk. I just don't even remember. And then he asked me how I found the bug. So apologies again, for real, though, for real. He had asked me if I found the bug, and I was playing NBA.
All stations, this is Shadow 01. Deployment to the Warzone has been authorized.
8 or 9, I can't remember. It was one of those, and it was on the PS3. And there was a bug where, like, during the inbound pass, if a ref happened to like run in front of you and you pass it at the right time, the ball used to have collisions with the ref. So if the ref just hit a certain way, the game was pretty much over, because it wouldn't register. It would register as you inbounding the ball, like in the game state, but like there's no shot clock that's being activated. The ref doesn't go, oh, the ball is loose. You can't move from where you are. No other player is moving at that time. Like maybe it's not a 2-player bug, but in single player, no other player is moving at that time. And like, crap.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
Oh no. Oh crap. Why is that there? I'm gonna get shot because I didn't like take advantage. Man, where was I with the story? I'll get to it right now. Sorry.
Enemy UAV is online.
I'm just trying to stay alive, y'all. I'm not even trying to. Oh, snap. See, he found something. What's good?
Taking effective fire.
Alright, nah, it's not gonna come to me right now. Kinda be
LGBR
tense.
inbound.
I'm tensed up right now. Oh, what the hell? That's creepy. Oh, seriously? Oh. That was creepy. What was that? Oh my goodness. That was creepy, y'all. Oh my goodness, man. That was that? What the? Oh no. Oh, so like, you know, you couldn't inbound the bus, so the game was basically stuck. And after that, he pretty much asked me like, when can you start? And I was like, tomorrow if you need me, you know. He was like, no, it doesn't work that fast. Can you start, you know, like next Monday?
I'm back up.
Yup.
Stand by for redeployment.
And let's just say, look, I appreciate the cat, and this has nothing to do with him. This was all 100% me. Like, oh snaps! I think part of the reason why me and him, not necessarily like, we didn't have any type of like falling out or anything like that. You know what I mean? I just think we had a difficult relationship, and it was mainly. Oh, got one. Let's go. Oh, run. Gotta run. Gotta run. Gotta run. Hey, that was pretty good though. Give myself props for that one.
Last mag.
Friendly loadout drops on the way.
All right, my bad. I'll continue with the story right now. My bad. I know. What's that?
Enemies dropping into the AO.
I'm pretty sure that's a hack. I'll just do it. Oh my goodness.
I'm reloading.
25 are left.
That was close.
I'm back online.
Go get your revenge.
Alright, hold on. Let me finish this round. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna die pretty quick, or pretty soon.
I'm taking fire.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Taking effective fire.
Oh man. Oh, there was two. No, there was just one. Oh, we got one of those.
Bit of a
Alright.
cast over here.
I gotta get used to this too. I'm not used to being able to heal actively in the game. It's been a while.
I'm back up.
Oh damn, I still got another life?
Weapons
Alright,
free.
cool. I just aged myself, so I called it a life.
You're losing ground. Moving.
I had to drop and I didn't.
I'm back online.
What? Alright,
Go get
okay.
after it.
I'll take it. I thought we only get 3.
Chasing mag.
Oh, nice one.
I'm back up.
Oh.
Vengeance. You're
Alright.
redeploying.
I guess if you last long enough, I really don't even know how. I thought I would. I'm pretty sure I died 3 times already.
Fire sale active. Buy station prices have been reduced.
I'm not gonna complain about it though. I actually kind of like this style. What the?
Enemy UAV overhead.
sometimes you just got fish a little bit, you know. You just never know.
Resurgence is about to end. Make it count.
Okay, I see. I guess if you last long enough, all right, cool. I mean, think.
10 remain. You're almost done
Making
here.
effective fire.
Did I get him too, though? Oh, I didn't even get it in there though. I was hyping myself up like I actually did something. I hit the
I'm back
wall.
online.
Returning you to the front. Earn this. Gas is closing in. Fire sales done. Prices are back to normal.
Oh, snaps. Oh man, something scared me. Was that a bird?
Resurgence is closed. No more second chances.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm like super concentrated right now.
Gas is moving.
Loading.
No, no.
Fire.
Oh.
Less than 10, but still
Hey,
standing.
this dude is guiding me this whole game though. Joe Marcus Chicken. Hey.
You're in the top 3.
Nah,
Don't
hey,
let
bro. Nah, you've been getting me all game. So what was I saying? Oh, so you know, like Dave Diaz was an excellent boss. That dude was an excellent boss. When it came to showing patience and just learning how to kind of deal with it, with something in a more, I guess, unorthodox method, but without like basically letting you know that he's the boss without having to say it type situation. You know what I mean? Like, I've had a lot of bosses that, like, talk down on people, right? Because they have the power and they say how it goes because they're the boss. Right? So they just outright disrespect you because they can do that because they're the boss. Let me look for the next match. And like I said, I was a loudmouth punk. Like I'm not even going front and be like, oh, well, I was the exemplary poor like employee. Nah. Like I was passionate about what I did. I'll get to him in a little bit. I can't forget. I cannot thank Dave Deals without thanking somebody else for sure. I'll get to him. But you know, there's things that I learned in the background, more of like I guess like the mind games, right? That you play with your employees to let them know that you're the boss. And there was just some things that I did that just, I was kind of obnoxious sometimes. I would, uh, we were all young. I used to talk mess about my lead. Not nothing bad in a way of like he was a bad person or anything like that. Just more in the way of like, why does he always act kind of like suspicious or shady? Like things that were his business, right? Like things that as a lead and as somebody of authority and that young of an age of the game that we were in terms of the technology that was coming to us. Like once you reach a certain level, like you're pretty a private person unless you have your group. And I guess that kind of always bugged me in a way. I'm not sure why it bugs me now, but back then I remember being bugged about it. But he didn't do anything wrong. Again, I was just being a punk. But like even with Dave, it was like I did a couple things. Like there was one time where I showed up like half an hour late, and I thought that since he didn't even really know that I was even there half the time, that if I just put 7 o'clock on my time card, like it would be cool. It wasn't. Dave let me know. It's already 20 years, but I don't want to say specifically what he did. I got to keep the secrets. Like that. That's his scroll to me. And like the action that he took, it could have gone a bunch of different ways. He outright could have made it a bigger situation than what it really was, but he didn't. He played it cool. I came at him like a young punk does, and he let me know what's good. I'm pretty sure I could have made a stink out of it, but it's just like one of those things though, like you're always being challenged in life. When they chin check you, how are you going to respond? You know what I'm saying? When you get chin checked, how are you going to respond? You're going to respond with anger. You're not going to have a long career. You're going to respond with making it a big deal out of anybody when you haven't had a career. Might as well just kiss it goodbye if that's what you're interested in. What you do is, if you respect the person, like I respect Dave Diaz. I didn't respect him at the time, I think, in the way that I appreciate him and respect him now. But like he chin checked me, and I took that as a challenge to be better, right? So I'm hoping that in some of the things that I've done, that I've been better than when he first took me in as a 23-year-old ragamuffin. Like that's what I hope. That somehow he's heard about me, because it is a small industry sometimes. That I've done certain things, and just let him know, like, hey man, I appreciate what you gave me. You know what I'm saying? Like you literally like opened the door to my career, to my life. Without you doing that for me, bro, I don't got none of this in the way that I got it. Like, yeah, I could have been an excellent box mover at some warehouse somewhere, because that's just the type of person that I am. But nah, being able to go to E3, being able to test Call of Duty games and test a bunch of different games, and just have a small stint at Blizzard, have a small stint at Riot. Like these are like the creme de la cremes, or were the creme de la cremes of the gaming industry. And even working for Sony Pictures Digital, like, yeah, it's a small group, but that my first gig was working for a worldwide company. Without you, man, nah, it don't happen this way. Just so it's out there, man, I appreciate you, I respect you. Just know that I grew to appreciate you, man. Like, I don't think you need it per se, but I grew to appreciate you for sure. Because without you, like, nah, my life is different, man. And not knowing, and not even trying to say on hindsight, but I don't know if it's worse. Is it better? To be honest, outside of the money, I don't know how it could be better. My life's been pretty dope, like even with the hard times, and even with the scary times, and even with tragedies, that just that befall us in life, like through all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like the good times that I've been able to have, I know it's been pretty cool. Um, but yeah, man, just know that I appreciate you, and will always, you will always have my respect. What you did for me is, or was life changing at the time, and looking back on 20 years of doing QA, um, I mean, it's even life changing now. To be honest, like it's just something that has influenced the growth and the trajectory of my life, man, for the last 20 years. Like, it's been crazy. And yeah, but so thank you, dude. Thank you so much. And of course, I gotta give a shout to the homie, to my, I don't want to call him a junior mentor. This dude was like my big cousin. You know what I'm saying? Almost like the big brother I didn't have. Damn. This is gonna make me punk out too. Um, damn, this is gonna make me punk out though. Why hasn't this moved on? Oh, okay, it's cool. I got time. Um, um, like, oh damn, this is gonna make me. Dude, I haven't really spoken about this cat really in a long ass time. Like, oh shoot. um, the homie Stevie Alongo. Man, that was like, yeah, that was like my big cousin. That was like my big brother that I never had. That dude, like, he took me under his wing to show me like different techniques, different like, like I guess different ways of approaching the same objective, to either just remember things differently or just have a good method of recalling stuff to pretty much always be ready to cover your butt. You know what I mean? Like at any given time, like as bad as that sounds, he was being real with me. Find ways to cover your butt, because if you say that you found a bug and these people say no, like how are you gonna prove it if you just say you did it? It's like, nah, he's the one that got me started with the notepad and the pen, and just like the format of the bugs. Like the format that I've used for all my bugs are a combination of his with what I learned at Activision. Like together, that was kind of like the basis of how I formatted my bugs, and that's how I taught people to kind of like write bugs if they didn't know how to write bugs. Like it was based on like half of what he, like how he showed me, because it just made sense to me to remember and recall things. But yeah, that dude. Yeah, I hope he's having a good life. Yeah, I shared some intimate parts of his life with me, and one of them was some very good fortune. So if he's out there, I hope that he's living his best life, man. Cause yeah, bro, like, nah, man, you took me under your wing, like in ways that you probably don't even really realize, and it meant a lot to me. Like, being the oldest in the family outside of like my cousin, you know what I'm saying? But we like a year or something apart. Like I just, and I know you weren't that much older, right? But you had so much more experience in the video game industry at the time than I did. That why isn't you finding the game, bro? Nope. How do I get out? Well, not this. Oh, I guess that's what it was. It needs an update. But yeah, bro. Like man, yeah, bro. I can't even talk. Like you were set up like big bro, man. Like in the industry, you know what I mean? Like you were like big bro in the industry. Just thanks, bro. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, man. Thank you. From the bottom of the blackest part of my heart that I have in there somewhere. Thank you so much. Um, and there are probably other people I can like thank. You know what I'm saying? Like my PS3 team. You know what I'm saying? We kicked ass. Like I'll leave it at that, because I can go on and on and on about how I feel about that squad. And then just people that I met along the way up at Superbot. The homie Chuck. um, just Rob and And even Renee, you know what I'm saying? Like I know we not really in the best terms or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? We're very hard headed people. You know what I'm saying? We disagree and man, what's going on with this though? Okay, cool. Damn. um, but just just cool people. I mean, me and Chuck, like that was the first time I actually ever left the state was when we went to Vegas to go do Evo for Superbot. Um, and I mean, there's just so many things that I can really just say like, damn, you know what I'm saying? It's been cool. Some people I can thank, but like them people right there, like those four in the gaming industry, like and there again, there's people who have done not I don't want to say similar things, but have also helped me in my career. Like the little times that I did need like that extra boost, there have been people that have, like have held me up. But to get to that point, like these are the four people that showed me like basically how to be the best version of yourself regardless of what's going out there. I never felt no amount of disrespect from these cats. Like I don't know, like them dudes are like the Mount Rushmore of my top four bosses ever. Like, yeah, like nobody comes close to them. Like those dudes are like the top four of the Mount Rushmore of like my bosses. Like them dudes, yeah, they have a monument in my head. They have a monument in my soul, cause them cats were real ones. Um, but yeah, I just want to give them that thanks. I guess I have a habit of speaking a lot. But I get to play games now too. Like I've been able to mix a podcast with something I like to do. See, because I got time now. Because now I got that time, and now, man, it doesn't matter. Um, I got that time now, and the small things. Where the next paycheck comes, hey man, after telling you that story,
Use this time for some target
it'll
practice.
come from somewhere.
The real thing's
You know.
coming soon.
And like I said, if certain things work out in certain ways, who knows? Maybe I have different stories to share. Maybe I can use some of these skills in my everyday. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, them cats. If somehow this gets out there to them, like, man, you guys are dope. You guys are dope. You guys are dope. You guys will always have a place in my head. You know what I'm saying? As I say, they'll live rent free in this head, but for all the good reasons. Like all the good reasons, because you guys are just. You guys were the best. You guys were the best bosses I've ever had. In the 20 years that I've spent in this industry, you guys were by far the best. And I know there's another cat that if it gets to him, he'll be like, oh, what about me? Now, you were cool too. You were cool too. But, like I said, like, we don't get to that point in my life if not for these four people. Just how to act, you know what I'm saying? Just how to behave, when to behave certain ways, and then just sometimes when to let it go. Like, as we like to say, like, but the level of when you're able to keep it real, like, like it has to be pretty high. If you wanted to have a long career, you need for that threshold to be super, super high. And like it has to be that way. Oh shoot. And it has to be that way. If you want to have a long career in any industry, there has to be a threshold of, I mean, I guess depending on who's receiving it, like BS that you want to take. We try and keep it PG.
I'm back up.
Getting another chance.
So yeah, and those are the guys. Like those are the guys. If not for them, I don't last 20 years in this industry. To be honest, I'd be lucky to last 4 or 5 with the way I used to be. More hard-headed, more stubborn, more, I don't know, just not productive to being an employee. Like that's just really the truth of it. And if not for them just being patient with me, showing me the way, showing me what's good, showing me respect, you know, build up my confidence to let me know that I got what it takes and that my hard work will be appreciated. And right there, them four cats is the pillars. Them four cats is the pillars of people, just because, you know, they were just simply the best. Like, they were just the best, man. Like, yeah, my life is completely different if not for them four people in my life. So, ooh. I don't know. I don't want to talk about anything this sad or happy sad. You know what I'm saying? Because it just reminds me that I'm getting older. And it's just crazy, you know. Like, it's just crazy to be like, damn, I actually had this. Oh crap! Damn, scared me. Man. Is it over? Did I die?
I'm back online.
Returning you to the front. Earn this.
Oh man. Oh, okay, that kind of scared me.
Taking fire.
You've got gas moving in.
Damn.
Valiant effort. Keep your head up and return to base for debrief.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I guess this all started with what I had said earlier. It's in between all those times. I mean, like, the four people I tell you about that really hold highly respected, like, you know, those were like the first 3 years of my life, of my profession. So, you know, and I don't want to make this a competition, but in, you know, the 15 other years, I've had people who have given me opportunities, who have supported me, who took, you know, at different various parts of my life, a leap of faith with me and providing me the opportunity that they provided me. Because sometimes you just feel like, damn, this guy really liked you. I know I don't owe him anything, but if I come in here and act a fool, like, how does that look on them? You know, and I never wanted to be the reason why you couldn't refer your other homies, you know, or you couldn't refer anybody to a job. I wasn't going to be that cat. And I'm not going to front again. I was that cat one time. I really was. But before I went, like, full out, like, I'm about to just crash out, I pulled the homie aside. I was like, hey, bro, I know you referred me for this job, and I just want to run it through you. This guy is he's acting a certain way. And I don't know, I'm trying to play it cool, bro, because, you referred me. I don't want it to be like something that, you can't refer nobody. Or he was like, nah, man, like, I see it now, you know what I'm saying? Just whatever happens, happens. So, all right, cool, green light. And I took it up a few notches. Like, I'm not going to front, I mean, that person has kind of been me, but like that threshold was super high, where like if before I get it, I have this positive influence of people who helped me out at the beginning of my career. Like I said, if that had been like my first job or maybe even my second job, I reached that crash out point a lot faster. And I doubt I have a career. Like I said, the industry is small. If you become sort of drama early on, especially as early on as we were, like just in age wise of like the industry as a whole, or at least of the modern industry as a whole, the AAA titles every year and stuff like that. Like you weren't gonna have you just weren't gonna have a long career. There's certain people that for the first, I'm gonna say like 10 years of my career, there were certain people that already had a rep. You'll say, hey, yeah, well, I worked at Activision too. I worked here too, or I worked blah 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 blah, right? And then if somebody else hadn't worked there, but had worked with somebody who came from there, that's like one of the first questions they get asked. Hey, so you worked at THQ, right? Do you remember so and so who was there for this project? Nah, for reals. That dude worked here. Oh man, how did anybody ever hire him? They got around. And again, I'm not gonna front. I'm pretty sure within the hierarchy powers that are in this industry that have had the this privilege of managing me at some point in their lives. I'm pretty sure in some small circles that I'm known. Probably more so in more recent times. Oh, is this for reals? Oh, it is for reals. No, it's not. And so it becomes a thing. But like to have that back then, you were out. You were out quick. You didn't last 5 years. That was a reputation that followed you that early on, and like again, an age of where we were from a gaming standpoint. You're not lasting 5 years. And sure enough, you happen to run into these people. And what ends up happening is, for us, especially in Santa Monica, there are certain places that are there to eat that are bomb.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Loading.
Oh my god.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Take it.
I kept missing them. So like, especially back then, like if we had ever had found ourselves unemployed, because that's something that happened a lot. People from project to project, and sometimes they weren't all in Santa Monica. Sometimes you have to go over cities. Sometimes you have to go to Reseda. Like you were a journeyman back then, and kind of to this day, kind of still are. But back then it was more so, because you would work 6 months minimum, or sometimes even maximum. And I died. You would work 6 months, maybe to a year max, and then you can pretty much find yourself unemployed, because full-time positions were not a thing that were given to us back then. Like, they just weren't. So you work 6 months, whatever, but you still want to come back to this, like, oh, I got time now. Like, I used to work down in Reseda, I was working in Burbank, I was working wherever. But sometimes you would live close. Like the people who lived in Torrance, lived in LA, lived in like the general area where you go, I got time now. Let's head out to El Forno. Let's head out to whatever at the boba spot does there. I can't even remember. They're right across the street. Or just whatever little shop that was in the corner. Sometimes it's been a ramen spot, it's been a sushi spot, it's been a Mediterranean spot. Like that little corner joint, like right in the front, can never stay in business. Not saying they had bad food. It was just I don't know if it was location, pricing, or what, but that's how that little shop in the corner in the front was. Like that was just a cursed spot. Sometimes you just make your way down there and be like, oh, I'm gonna go eat because I hadn't had that in a while. Sure enough, the same cats that you used to work with, they have the same the same hankering for the same food that you have for it. Then you run into them. Hey, what's going on, fool? And like, unless they were like outright just disrespectful to you, like we always try to keep it cool. We weren't trying to really like have nerd fights in the streets. So you just put up the brave face, tell them, oh yeah, what's going on, man? Like, yeah, I'm doing this, or I did this, or I just got fired from here, blah blah blah. And then you tell them, like, you ask them, like, hey, so what's good with you? What's up with you? I couldn't do gaming no more, man. Like the crunch hours and all this stuff. Like I just couldn't do it no more, dude. Like that's not even a life. What that was code for was that you were becoming too much of a drama case and nobody wants to hire you. That's pretty much what it is. So when that happened, is guess what? If you got the chance to work at an Activision, a THQ, even of a Vivendi, like a big name publisher, like if you became drama there, your only options were that you had to go work like lower, not I don't want to say lower class, but projects that weren't as fun, budget titles, kid titles, like just titles, or even on websites like like Kitty Flash websites that were back in the days, like for like PBS, and not PBS specifically, but like a PBS or like a like a kids network, like a free broadcast kids network. Like they would try to have some games to have people come into this new internet thing, and like those are the projects that you were done doing. And sometimes they would either just pay you minimum wage or a buck less than what video games started you at, which back then was $10 an hour. Minimum wage was about $6.25, $6.50 when I started working there. So to make $10 an hour to test Call of Duty or whatever else, that they were testing the Activision thing, yeah, sign me up. But there was people who just didn't appreciate that and would have to go make $9 or less, or sometimes even more. But then the project is not that fun. Like you could be making $2 more an hour, but when you're hearing "Hola, ¿cómo te llamas tú?" Like, like that's going to drive you crazy, and that's kind of like the quality of games that you were testing sometimes. Like, like you didn't want. Oh, what's good? Oh, I'm gonna die. um. There's nobody here. I'll get to the story right now. I missed it. I was looking for a crosser I didn't have.
Reloading.
That I heard something.
Gas is closing in.
Seriously, nobody's here though. I don't even know why I shot. Let's give away my position. Damn, but for real, so like, what is it?
Enemy UAV overhead.
There's 32 people left. I don't see nobody.
Mark a point on your map containing enemy intel. Capture and secure it to get ahead of the next gas spring.
Wait up, where at?
Loadout drop headed your way.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Damn. Oh. Damn. Let me finish this match really quick.
I'm back online.
Go get your
Man. Did I not get that? How did I not pick that up? Man, how did I miss that? Oh, there we go. Got. Oh! There's some bullet drop.
Changing mag.
25 are left. Stay sharp out there.
Ooh, okay, that was a good shot though. I'm gonna give myself props on that one. There's a degree of bullet drop in this game.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Nah, it's over there. Oh,
Taking effective fire.
damn. Am I out?
I'm back
Get
up.
ready.
so good, all right, cool.
Redeploying.
I promise I'll get back to the story. I'm just. Oh,
Losing ground. Moving.
damn.
Enemy UAV is online.
Reloading.
I don't know I was gonna hit him, but I had to try.
Hostile UAV in the area. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Oh, snaps. I heard somebody, but I don't want to go in there. He might be better with a gun than I am. Which in this game, it hasn't been too hard to be so. Damn, that scared me. I scared myself.
Fire sale active. Buy station prices have been reduced.
Oh my. Yeah, that was. Dang, I'm butt at this
I'm
game.
back
Time
online.
for vengeance. You're redeploying.
Terrible at this game.
Out of time. You've lost the intel.
Oh, they got 9 bullets in this guy. Damn. Well, it didn't even
25
matter.
remain.
Um.
They hit us hard that time.
Yeah. So where was I?
Regroup.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
back
So
out
when you
there.
heard that some dude was done with the industry, and that just means that nobody was gonna hire you, because either that or you had to work like them terrible projects that you really don't want to work. Like, it's fun to have money coming in and doing that, but after a while, it's like, you want to talk about feeling like you have no career progression. Man, you get put in one of those games, like that's what you're pretty much gonna be doing for the rest of your life, because them companies is cheap. They weren't going to promote you. They were never going to hire you full time, but they'd bring you on from contract to contract to contract if you did good work. But that's all you'd be getting. You know what I mean? So you'd be constantly on unemployment, off and on the unemployment stuff. And it's just like that part, like that's the part that's unsustainable. It had nothing to do with the gaming industry or nothing of that sort. It was just like, that's it. Like if you were a real one, you probably had about 7-8 years, which was double. And at some point, it's just unfortunately for a lot of us, we outgrow it as part of our lives. Sometimes, like myself, especially later in my career, I got very lucky to get some of the opportunities that I got. And if it wasn't for me interviewing with some really, at least some good people within the group of people who should probably never be doing interviews. Um, I probably don't get the later opportunities in my life and taking care of what I did early on. So if you were like a real one, you always have somebody to put in a word for you to keep you in one of these projects you want to do. But unfortunately, like, you just have to get lucky sometimes, and sometimes it's just life. Life doesn't grant luck to everybody in certain things, and I've been lucky to be granted the opportunities that I got granted. Um, but some people are just lucky in different ways, and being in that industry just wasn't in the cards for them. So traditionally, if you were really good, you had between a 7 and 8 year career as a tester before you just couldn't sustain it anymore. Life gets you get older. You know what I'm saying? You might meet a special someone in your life. You might have a kid. And if it's not necessarily just you, if it was just,
We're
I
heading
think,
to
to
the
the
war zone.
individual
Get
person,
geared up and stand
man, I
by.
think a lot of us would have been happy living that life. You know what I'm saying? Like working 6, 7, 8, 9 months out of the year, just unemployment for free. And just repeating that? Are you kidding me? To an 18-year-old, that's the dream. You know what I mean? That's the dream. But as life grows, the bills that come with it grow just as much. So you just sometimes you got to go find a traditional job, or you got to hope that you're a decent enough person that other people have been waiting for you to be available so they can come and hire you for something else, whether it was insurance salesman or assistant manager at some market, or doing like data entry for a bank or whatever it is that a bunch of these cats went to. You know, um, like this is life. Like you can't do anything about that sometimes. Sometimes you're not as lucky as others. I was lucky enough to do for 20 years. Like I know I'm saying like a lot.
Resurgence.
I'm catching myself. I'm trying to stop that.
Stay alive till time expires. Secure redeployment.
But yeah, that's how it be. So and then at this point I'm 40. I'm gonna be 43. And life helped me to do things that I wanted to do at an age that it was supposed to do
Taking
it.
effective fire.
Oh man, I got shot from the tower.
I'm back up.
Stand by for
What was
redeployment.
that saying? I don't remember. Oh.
We lost that one, but we'll get a W next time.
Oh damn, that was quick. So that's how it was. So that's always something. Just try to keep it cool as much as you can. Don't come in at nobody with no type of hostility or disrespect right after, because you might not be lucky enough to have a Dave Diaz in your life that will show you a professional way on how to curb that attitude of no problem that you may be displaying. Sometimes you're just gonna have a bad boss who's gonna tell you, I'm the boss and you can't do anything about it. And all that's going to do is make you angry, not really give you an opportunity for growth mentally and even spiritually to a bit. And then you're just going to go from bad boss to bad boss to bad boss, because you're going to develop this attitude of just being negative at the boss when it's not really the boss. It's the person who's portraying the boss. Like in slang terms, the boss, like I'm going to take Michael Scott's saying from The Office. Boss used to be something good, man. Like, that jacket is boss, or that car is boss. Now, boss just means for a stupid jerk at work. And it's the truth. In the 60s, 70s, if you, hey, what's up, chief? What's up, boss? Like that was a term of respect. And even in some smaller circles, you might still see that. But for the most part, when people say boss, it's like, I hate that jerk. I hate this person, blah, 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 because they just tend to be bad people. And believe it or not, man, that rubs off on you. As much as you may hate it, that tends to rub off on you a lot. And, especially if you're young, if this happens to catch the eye of some, 18, 23-year-old, man, check your attitude at the door, bro. Like legit, just check your attitude at the door. You're there to do a
Check
job.
weapons and gear.
Know that you're not going to be treated the way that you're treated at home. That's just not going to happen. And do I tell my son this? Yes, I tell my son the exact same thing. The way that me and your mama treat you is not the way the world's going to treat you. Because the world doesn't give a certain four-letter word about you. Again, keeping it PG. Like, it just doesn't. Like, I don't want to sound like everybody is cold in this world and people are not caring out there, because as I mentioned, there's been a lot of caring people in my life, but in just in general, the world as a whole is a cold place. And not so much because people are being mean all the time per se, it's just there's so many people, only X amount of resources around the world, and then when those resources are not distributed evenly throughout the populace, and even just and even in an unfair amount, like it's not even unfair what's happening to this country. It's something else, and I don't want to get into that political stuff, but it's just a cold world, and you have to go and see how you make do the best you can with what this life is going to be. And with what life has given me, I got to live the dream, like I got to like do things that other people just never got to do, or people said that I was lucky to do. And I mean, that's just straight out facts, like people have always said, oh man, I wish I had your job. And a job is a job, but I'm not going to front. The fact that I was behind a desk testing games as opposed to behind a desk trying to sell insurance policies or something else, like for me, man, for how little I got paid, I would go through those struggles every day over and over again. Because if not, I don't become the person that I am.
Enemy UAV
And
is
if
online.
not, then my son, I can't raise my son to be the person that he's been, which is just a kid now, like a young man that I'm just proud of. Like I just, like words cannot express like how proud of
Enemy
him I
UAV
am. Like
overhead.
he's changed my life. Like straight
Enemy
up, he's
UAV
changed
is
my
online.
life. Like my boy has changed my life. And and just seeing like the determination in his heart for the scholastics pursuits. Because for me, man, it was hard to like.
Loading.
It was hard to get me to school. Like I'm not gonna front. I I like to learn. Even to this day, I love to learn. Like I love to learn new things. Oh shoot!
Taking fire.
Oh shoot! Oh. But yeah, like my kid's always been one that he wants to get good grades. He was determined. The school that he ended up going to for college, like he said at 13, like I want to go there. And I said similar things about my future, and like it's easy for me to be like, well, my parents, didn't do this, and my parents didn't like, certain things, but at the same time, if I had wanted it bad enough, right, it shouldn't have stopped me. Nothing else that if anybody said similar to me has stopped me, but like for whatever reason at that age, I guess I just didn't want college bad enough. I just didn't want it. But like for him, since the moment he said, yeah, I'm gonna go to this school, he worked. He worked, but he had to get the good grades. He had to get the test. The test scores up. He even got early acceptance when he applied. That's crazy to me. And then seeing him having to go through the struggles that he's gone through. Like, not saying that he hasn't had great times, because there's great memories that that he's already told me his young life that he has made. It's more of a thing of like I guess just because he wanted it so bad, and it's not even like that he doesn't want to disappoint us. It's just that I guess he understands what's kind of at stake. You know, like this was his dream, and he's able to live his dream. And if he gives up on this dream that he had been working on in his young life, you know, I let it be known to him. I got lucky. I was able to find and live my dream later in life after I found you. You know, like after you came into my life, after, you know, we birthed, you know, well, your mother birthed you and, you know, we became a family. Like, some people just have it right now. And right now is that moment, you know, like do what you can with it because you're not going to get this back. I'm not paying no bill for that. You know what I'm saying? Like I told him, I got him for a large chunk of money. Like I'll find a way to pay it, you know, because that's just how this world works. I'll find a way to pay it. Um, but if you decide to just not do this, the next time you want to pursue your dream, it's going to be on you. You know what I'm saying? How can you make it happen? You're going to be the one on the bus. You're going to be the one paying your own bills, buying your own food, paying your own gas or your bus trip or skateboard or whatever it is that you need to get on with your life because I need to focus on myself too. You know, that's just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. Um, and just seeing him like just keep battling through everything he has had to battle through health wise, mental wise, and you know, and everything in between. Um, you know, like I'm proud of him. Like I'm super proud of him. That dude's been a huge inspiration in my life to see what you know what is possible, and it's given me you know a sense of validation that you know like I'm not saying I'm the perfect dad. Like nah, like far from it.
Rucker,
You
you're
know,
headed to
far
the war
from it.
zone.
But just let me know that you know the one thing that I was scared about was that I was gonna ruin him. I think every dad is kind of worried about that. That you're gonna ruin the child that you know that you're responsible for raising. Bare minimum, that's how much credit I'm gonna give myself. I did not ruin him. I did not ruin him. You know what I mean? Like he's a dope kid. He's a dope kid. You know, or a dope young man. You know. I didn't ruin him, you know, so
All
that's the
stations green
validation that I
light.
get. Everything else he's had to
Warzone.
do. You know, I didn't get him into that school. He had to put in the work. Like, if there was things that I did was give him a ride and give him some cash. That was it. You know what I'm saying? Mike, he did uh, the other 90% of that when it came to like being in, you know, PTA and you know finding information for school from a young age, being involved with the school to make sure that he had the best opportunities to do stuff. Not like directly like telling teachers how to do this, but you know she would help around the school organize stuff and make sure that if they were throwing something like a talent show or social volunteer for the Boy Scout, and he was a Boy Scout, that when they were doing something for the kids, like planning, you know, just to make sandwiches, to play games or whatever, like she had insight, like, hey, you know, maybe we should buy this, or maybe we should prep this, or maybe this would be a good idea. Like, you know, Nathan likes to do these types of things. And I think the other kids will too, you know, like is that type of like involvement that I'm saying that she had that was just, you know, he got lucky, but you know, she did all that. Like that was me. I was on the bus. I was trying to make cash. I was trying to make money. I was doing that. Like that's my 10%. And to be honest, I had the easiest 10% because that's easy to me. You know,
I'm
for
back
some,
up.
I know I know what my bills. I know what my money paid for. I know like what I bought and everything like that, right? But the money that I made in comparative to the money or the services that she, damn, the services
They hit
that
us hard
she
that time.
like
Dust yourself off, regroup,
gave
get
away
back out there.
or volunteered for, like no, there's more valuable in the services she provided to the schools and the organizations that she helped with, like bar none. You know what I'm saying? Just again, everything costs money, so that was my 10% of the contribution. Make sure we had a roof and we have food. Um, yeah, my next one, yeah. Let's hope my nephew. I'm gonna give him what time is it? I'm gonna give him like another 18 minutes. If not, I'm gonna end it here and go probably stream some Fortnite. Go look for my my first solo kill or my first solo victory. Haven't had that yet. Came in second place one time, man. So close. Um, but you know that's yeah, like, you know, and right now he's living his dream. He's living his best life, my boy, and I'm proud of him for that. Yeah, I just, you know, I don't know why I'm spilling my guts like today. Today is that day, I guess. I don't know. Maybe you know what? Maybe because I'm at peace right now. Like I said, like I know I ain't got no job right now, and you know the stressor of like where's the next paycheck. But honestly, I'm at peace right now. I just feel like I'm just speaking to the peoples out there. You know, whoever might be watching. We just talking. I'm just speaking, and thank you for lending me your ears. So I'm gonna put gum in my mouth. Um, you know, I just feel I feel at peace right now. Like it's been a long time since I felt, I guess, this calm. You know, because usually it's always the hassle, the stress of the day, the things that need to be done that can't be done until you get off of work, or if you went into work early. Just having your day controlled by somebody else than yourself, like it's a big stress in life. It's a huge stress in life, and I don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have that right now. If I want to wake up at 2 o'clock, like Monday, I fell asleep kind of early, kind of early. Like my early is like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. But I felt, damn, I just swallowed some
Check
gum.
your gear and weapons. We'll be deploying shortly.
Oh man. Um, it wasn't even cheap. It was just the crusty outside. What was I saying? But yeah, like, you know, not having that stress in my life, being able to do this, even just to kind of sit here, talk, get old enough in Call of Duty,
Playtime's over.
and waiting for my nephew to show up. Nephew, what's good?
Enemy
I
dropping
know you
into
see
the
my
AO.
Discord up. Hit me up. Let me know what's good. But, don't be embarrassed about what happened yesterday, bro. You made my stream 6 times better. I went back and listened to it, man. It was fun, bro. It was fun. I kind of liked it. It was different. It was a different take.
Resurgence.
Um,
Stay alive till time expires.
but you know, I just have that time. Like, on Monday, I fell asleep. You know, like 3, 4 o'clock. I woke up at 11 because nature called, and
Loading.
can I snipe from here?
Enemy soldier incoming.
Ah.
Got movement.
I got you first.
I'm back online.
Go get your revenge.
I forgot what I was. I think I was done. Pretty sure I was done. Was I done? I don't know. But yeah, you know, I just found myself at peace, and I'll take that.
Reloading.
From where? That's the one thing with this game. It's just like the colors. Just I don't even see him.
I'm
I
back
did
up.
not
Ready.
even see
You're
him.
redeploying.
All that to say is like, y'all good up today. You know what? Let me go. I'm gonna switch over to Fortnite. Some really didn't come out. Alright, it didn't come out. So I'm gonna play Fortnite because I stopped paying attention to this game. So, um, but yeah. So I'm gonna stop this stream. I'll go play some Fortnite. If y'all want to join me again, I'll share the link. If y'all watching, if not, if you're watching this on VOD, you can check out my Fortnite stream. And just in case that's not your jam, you know, thank you for the eyeballs, the few views that I get. I always appreciate that. And just stay up, man. Just stay up. Stay up. Man, gal, you know, it, you know, any variation of there in between. Life's hard, but if you can get up, say, hey, you know what? I'm not gonna let it defeat me. I'm not gonna let it grind me down. I'm gonna put it on my back, and I'm gonna just take ownership of my day. And you grind it out. One day, just keep looking. You know, don't stop looking as this is going on, but keep looking for that next opportunity for you to bounce, to make yourself better, to be in a better position, even if just minimally. You know, instead of dealing with 3 bad jerks, maybe you only deal with 2 jerks or 1 jerk, or you might get lucky and not deal with the jerk at all, and who knows. But if you don't put in the work, if you don't grind it out, if you don't grit your teeth sometimes, you're going to give up on yourself and then give the world a reason to give up on you. So just don't do that. And yeah, so, you know, again, in the infamous words of Jerry Springer, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. This has been my my Warzone, you know, trying to level up. Stream number 3, I want to say, and Nephew. Man, you better update your client, homie, because Unky Mo just got a hitbox type stick, and he might be wanting to use that. So you and I might have that many times to play, you know, like a long period of times before I switch over games. But yeah, just always go at everybody with love and respect and love, and eventually it returns back to you, and it's gonna be really, really sweet.